right along. Cooning ass Clarence Thomas, man. Cooning ass Clarence Thomas, man. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas attacks Brown versus Board ruling on its 70th anniversary of the Brown versus Board versus the Board of Education that desegregated schools. Clarence Thomas had a little bit of words to say about that historic amendment or a historic court ruling, if I'm saying it correctly. Cooning ass Clarence, man. God dang, man. You done been taking money. You was a cheat. You was you know you ain't right. You need to go ahead and retire. And that's what they was hoping for. They was hoping that Trump would get into office, and then cooning ass Clarence and that other old judge was gonna retire, and they was gonna try and get two new conservative judges in. But I bet if Joe Biden get in office, I bet they ain't gonna retire then. But old cooning ass Clarence came up talking shit about the board of Brown versus the Board of Education. So he says Supreme Justice Clarence Thomas issued a strong rebuke of the Brown versus Board of Education ruling on Thursday, suggesting the court overreached its authority in the landmark decision that banned separating school children by race. Why it matters, Thomas attacked the Brown decision in a concurrence opinion that allowed South Carolina to keep using a congressional map that critics say discriminated against black voters. The court took boundless views of equitable remedies in the Brown ruling, wrote Thomas, who in 1991 replaced Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, the first black Supreme Court justice and lead lawyer in the Brown case. These remedies came through extravagant use of judicial power to end racial segregation in the 1950s and the 60s. Federal courts have limited power to grant equitable relief, not the flexing power to invent whatever new remedies may seem useful at the time, he said, justifying his opinion to keep a predominantly white congressional district in South Carolina. The U.S. marked the 70th anniversary of the landmark Brown versus Board of Education ruling last week. The 9-0 decision declared the separate but equal doctrine unconstitutional and helped usher in the civil rights movement, though it took 2 decades to dismantle some school segregation policies. So, racial segregation in schools across the country has increased dramatically over the last 3 decades, according to two new reports and an Axios review of federal data. The resegregation of America's public schools coincides with the rise of charter schools and school choice options as civil rights groups have turned away from desegregation battles. So you can read more about this on the Axios.com site. Segregated schools disproportionately hurt Black and Latino students, since those schools tend to have fewer resources, more teacher shortages, higher student-to-school counselor ratios, and fewer AP class options. Thomas has also been viewed suspiciously, if not downright hated, by civil rights advocates for repackaging arguments once made by segregationalists in the name of supporting broad beliefs about limited government action. Game 1 on Thursday, so we got a whole week off. That's interesting. So they always try to jump on my show day, huh? Critics have also spotlighted Thomas' wife, Jenny Thomas, for trying to reverse the 2020 presidential election results, and Justice Thomas for not recusing himself from the Supreme Court decision about the January 6th Capitol riots. Yeah, man. Buddy tripping. Buddy be tripping, man. Old cooning ass Clarence, man. Come on, cooning ass Clarence. It's time for you to get up out of that. Go ahead and get up out of there, man. You know, we need some new Supreme Court justices. Hopefully, we get the win in the next presidential election. And it don't look like it looked like it's going to take some real audacity for the Republicans to still elect Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election. But if anybody got the gall, not the balls to do it, it'll be the Republicans. And they will be electing a convicted felon